Tuperas y tuperas, today on DOOP by the River, we are in the heart of the offseason, and your Philadelphia Union have made a signing. We're going to talk about that signing and the impact it will have on this club, and we're going to look at around the league. The MLS, there's been some big stuff that's been going on, a lot of rumors. That tea's tasting really good, so we're going to talk about all that's going down, and don't you dare go anywhere, because you do not want to miss this episode of DOOP by the River. And let's get started, guys. And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to DOOP by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And, of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we dive into this episode, ladies and gentlemen, do us that solid. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to Ed Barcelo Philly's YouTube channel as we discuss we bring all the DOOP by the Rivers on here. And make sure you guys are subscribed to PSN Radio wherever you stream podcasts. We always upload those to there. You can find that wherever you stream pods, Apple, Google, and Spotify. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a full house here tonight. We got the usual four suspects. And without further ado, introduce those hosts. Let's start off with my man, Mr. Zach Lobasso. What's up, Zach? How you feeling?
What's up, man? Good. How are you? I'm feeling, I'm going to say like a 7 out of 10. Still recovering a little bit from this sinus thing I got going on. But, you know, it is what it is. A lot of little Union news, big MLS news. So we got a lot to talk about tonight.
That is a fact indeed, my friend. Well, I hope including Zach, I hope everyone is being safe out there. Obviously, there has been a spike with COVID. What happened before the Eastern Conference Finals was kind of a precursor to what's going on now. So make sure everyone is staying safe and stay vaxxed, ladies and gentlemen. Stay vaxxed. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite writer, everyone's favorite writer. Please welcome Tim Believe, Love and Guth. What's up, Timmy boy?
Not much. I'm on vacation up here in upstate New York, visiting some family. That's why I got this nice background behind me today. It's a little different than what I'm used to there. But hey, it's a good time. The Wi-Fi works, so we're all good here. We get to talk year-end Union stuff, MLS news, all the crazy things. People signing strikers for multi-millions of dollars, and it's not the Union, so we're gonna talk about it. So yeah.
Who said the MLS wasn't entertaining, Tim?
Not me.
None of us here, that's for sure. All right, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this man never fails with the nicknames, and tonight he's ending 2021 with a bang. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Justin DP signing in quarantine Freiburg. Justin, number one, how you feeling, brother? And number two, welcome on in, man.
Feeling thank God. Thank God for vaccines and everyone staying safe. But just hanging in there, ready to talk some Union. And boy, I know this striker signing was let's just say divided Twitter.
Woo-wee.
So and we've talked about it plenty, and I've saved some of my best takes for the last pod of 2021. So let's get down to it, gentlemen.
Let's go. Justin means business here. It's crazy. We're less, Tim mentioned it when we all met up. We're less than 60 days away from the start of another MLS season, which is absolutely wild. So make sure you guys are tapped into us so we can keep you guys entertained until then. But Justin, Union Twitter gets divided by a freaking mascot. I think this is the norm with us.
Or a chief tattoo officer,
Yeah, that was a fun time too.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me what it takes to light the constantly dangling fuse that is Union Twitter.
Hey, we're just here to have some fun, right, guys? All right, well, let's get to it, guys. Right, so obviously the burning topic last week. The Union gave us a little bit of a Christmas gift. We've debated this, throughout the season and even within the off season. The Union addressed the position that we've all talked about, the striker position. Depending how you feel about it, Julian Carranza is now a member of your Philadelphia Union after the Union acquired him from Inter Miami. This move is very, very American sports and very global soccer. It was essentially a trade where we sent over a second-round draft pick in what Ernst Tanner is trying to dissolve in the MLS Super
Draft pick? What's a
What is
draft
that?
pick? We don't know these things, man. What are draft picks?
They come in handy though, because we were able to possibly get a lethal striker. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is a loan deal with an option to buy. So Julian's going to come in here, and granted, he did not get his MLS career started off probably in the note that he wanted, but now he gets an opportunity. And let's be 100% honest with one another, guys. This is a much better situation than what he had down in Miami. And hopefully we don't have any more, global pandemics like what we went through in 2020. So this to me, I'll start off by saying this. This to me feels like one of those deals where it's a low risk, high reward type of deal for a guy who still has a lot of potential, only 21 years old. My man just got legal to go down Broad Street and go to all those bars down in Center City, in Old City. So, look, guys, to me, the potential's there. We always talk about Tati Castellanos. We could possibly have our own Tati. Now, I'll take it easy there, but I want to get your guys' opinion. Julian Carranza, a member of the Philadelphia Union. Justin's been dying to tell us all. So, Justin, what are your thoughts on this move, my man?
When I saw this deal, my first thought was, okay. Like initially, it's like, oh well, what are we doing? And then you look more at the deal and you go, okay, Miami spent $6 million on him. He's now two different coaches stuck behind Gonzalo Higuain and Robbie Robinson, who, I mean, if why Phil Neville didn't play Carranza out on the wings, I don't know. He seems like that type of a striker as well, where he can actually play out in the wings and kind of run in behind. Honestly, this is a very low risk, high reward deal. It's if he works out, and I think this is really to push the striker depth. This is not the only signing, at least in my opinion, by any stretch of the imagination. But I think you also got to look at it and go, if he works out, great. You have someone who can easily push and maybe pushes more than one striker out. Who knows? But the biggest thing is, if it doesn't work out, you can send him. He goes right back to Miami. Like, for a guy was bought for $6 million and his value is about, at this point, I think he might be one of the highest valued players on the team at $3.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think overall he might have one of the highest values on the team already, and I'm sure he's probably hungry to come on in and prove to Miami that he's got something here. And I mean, I know Miami loves to just throw away money, but $6 million for a young kid is, I mean, the Union finally dipping their toes into that young DP, money. But hey, it's very low risk, high reward. I mean, so was Davo, but I mean, that's kind of how these signings are. It's either, you're not, the DP is going to be a probably higher caliber striker. If Carranza is that caliber, he can prove it, but you're not risking anything by sending out a second round pick. So that's the biggest thing, is it's good for all sides, and we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see what a young kid who might be able to push, into that third spot. He might even push Sergio. Like I think the more, depending on the formation, Carranza might get more efforts to show what he's got.
I 100% agree with you. And to your point in the beginning, not sure how you felt about this move. I was in the same boat. I looked at, we just got a striker within the league from Miami? And then once I looked into more, I relaxed. I took a deep breath, and I felt the same way you do. Low risk, high reward. What about you, Tim? How you feeling about this move, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was kind of in the same boat as you guys, seeing the news come through. It was last Friday, I think, at this point, right? And yeah, just to see, like, okay, you doing the thing again where they, ooh, what's that noise? That's a loud noise. It's all good. Union, do the thing again where they trade their draft picks that they don't use, And yeah, getting a guy that's, highly valued for it. I know Justin was saying, $3.5 million there, pretty high evaluation. If the Union went out and signed someone, actually signed them for $3.5 million, like obviously biggest transfer in history right there. So I think the thing that kind of made it a little bit lesser was the guy in the league. He didn't really do much for Miami, but like Justin said as well, it's he was behind Gonzalo Higuain, and it looked like Miami really only wanted to play with one striker for most of last year under Neville as well. So yeah, for a guy that's been stuck, a guy that's young, bring him in, push the strikers that we have. Maybe it pushes Casper and Sergio, if he's healthy, to do better, or even more so, you hope that another striker gets signed, and you hope that Carranza can, push that guy to go on and score 20 like that. I think that's the goal here, really. Like that's what everyone's talking about. That's what everyone wants to see. I mean, you're seeing other teams in the league going out and getting their attacks better. And we've talked about it all year. The only thing the Union haven't had is a lethal attack. If they could get one or two strikers that could make their attack actually lethal, then, MLS Cup. Like that's what it is at this point.
Let's go.
So,
but Tim, where does this striker fit in? Where does Carranza fit in a 4-3-1-1-1?
Hey, listen. We don't have to talk formations on here right now, okay? Especially formations that don't make sense and don't exist. All right, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Zach, what
you got, Justin? I know it's the year-end pod, but it's not the place.
He wants to go out the bang then.
So yeah, I've been saying all along that I'm totally cool with this transfer. Changes of scenery help plenty of people in sports. All right, tons of people. Ben Simmons could go to a new team tomorrow and be the MVP of the league. Who's to say?
Why you gotta do that to me?
Or an NBA All-Star.
Oh my god.
Well, anywho, Carranza, 21, a second-round draft pick, which honestly, what's that worth? Not much, right? Definitely not worth $3 million, unless you're talking about maybe getting Jack Elliott, which could but that doesn't happen very often. So yeah, I like the transfer unless he's the only one they bring in. If he's the only forward they bring in, I hate the transfer. Because he doesn't bring guaranteed goals. That's what we're looking for, is guaranteed goals. Right? You want someone who has in the past scored in whatever league they come from more than 15 goals in at least 2 seasons. I think that is the minimum that you're looking for. All right, because that allows you the chance that if Casper does stay, he adds, let's say, coming off the bench, 8 goals. All right, now you have 15 at 8, which is 23. All right, that's half of what the Union scored all season from 2 players now, just from 2. All right, then you add the goal here and there from the attackers. Let's say that Gazdag gets 6. All right, you're at 29 now. And then you add 2 for another 8 players, because that's how the Union, for some reason, score goals. They love to just 2 for everyone. You end up probably with 55 goals next year, which is 9 more than we had this year, which in turn could come in the playoffs and, lead to, like Tim said, an MLS Cup. The game is won by scoring goals, which is a crazy thing to say. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Both statements.
You can say that defense wins championships, but if you don't score any goals, you don't win a championship. So in soccer especially, and you see with teams all around the world, besides Man City, because they don't count, they don't make any sense.
Pep don't need a striker at this point.
They don't make any sense. I don't get it. It's whatever. Strikers score goals. All right? Strikers score goals. Teams win games when strikers score goals. It's how it works. All right? So at the end of the day, hopefully Carranza comes in, and if they play the diamond, him and someone else, or he comes off the bench, or if he's the only one and he earns the starting spot in the Christmas tree, he comes in and revitalizes his very infantile career. And yeah, so like I said, I like the signing, unless he's the only one they bring in.
And Zach, I think to add on that, you know, yeah, New York City won with Tati being unreal. But if you look at their secondary scoring, their second scorer was Jesus Medina at 9 goals.
They had 2 guys at 9, correct? They had 2 guys at 9.
But then you look at New England, while they lost in the second round, I mean, obviously that break took toll on them.
23 days.
You had, 3 guys in double digits?
Yep.
And
they won the Shield by 25 freaking points.
So that's been my whole thing that, yeah, I agree with you. If Carranza's the only signing, I'm disappointed. I think Ernst has said that the European market's dead right now and that once the window opens, things will kind of shake. And that's how it's always been. And I don't disagree with that. But if this guy can push Casper to get if he gets closer to 15 in the MLS regular season, if the DP can get maybe closer to the 15 to 20, and then Carranza comes in between 5 and 10. Like if you have your off the bench strikers have between 5 to 10 goals, and your main strikers, you're playing the 4-4-2, have over 10 goals, I think you're in a better position. And I think that would have made a clear difference between, the New York City hosting the MLS Cup and potentially the Union. Like that, I think if the Union had a more clinical striker, you're winning the MLS Cup. I firmly believe that. So that's really the one missing piece. And Carranza, while he's got a lot of potential, he's not that track record signing. And I think we can all agree, and that's what we've all been clamoring for, is someone who maybe has a bit more of a track record, might not cost as much, but has more of a track record in whatever league they played in that can justify the signing. So
it was real funny too. Like the day before the Carranza signing, there was like a guy's name that popped up. I forget who it was, but we were all kind of talking about it and being like, "Oh, this striker would be a perfect fit." It was some guy looking to come to MLS from, I believe it was another Venezuelan from the Venezuela league.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But he was like, they like put out the stats and he was, scoring a buckets of goals. Like
was it 20 and 38 or whatever it was.
Yeah, like 20 goals and 8 assists in 38 games.
It's gonna. I forget his name. It's gonna bother me all night. But either way, like we were talking, like, oh, like this is a perfect Ernst Tanner signing. So like, if it's someone like that, we'll still have people who will complain. But the Union went out with the Carranza loan deal. Like that could be the big money, quote unquote, guy, even though you're not spending the money, which I hate. I hate that. But if they bring in someone who is more of a proven goal scorer at a lower league into MLS, maybe to pair with Carranza or even Shabilko if he stays, we'll see what happens with that. It seems like he's going to stay. But yeah, like that could pay dividends, like Justin's saying. Like you need that goal scorer to win you a cup, and that's where the Union fell short in 2021.
Yeah, because bringing in Carranza is like basically a cop out, right? Because you can say he's a $3 million striker, but you didn't spend it cost you nothing. It actually helped you. Like you gave away something that to you is worthless, and you gained something that's $3 million. Like. And especially with the money that they're going to be bringing in when Brendan gets sold to freaking AC Milan or Leeds in the summer, like, come on, like, what do they get? What do they get? What is it? 10 to 20% or something that I saw.
10 to 20%. Yeah, I forget.
And then then Paxton going over to Salzburg. So there you go.
Yeah. So
or Leipzig. Leipzig was
Leipzig.
So you're bringing in an extra, because I've seen Brendan in between like 20 and 30 in that range is what they're asking for. So you bring in an extra, you're $4 to $6 million. Like you got to spend it somewhere. You
can't just be like Briggs truck, baby.
You can't just be like, you can't just be like, oh, the academy. Like, yeah, sure, that's a great, our academy's already the best. You don't need to keep pumping all this money into it.
Hey, listen. Eventually, we'll develop that Erling Haaland. It's not the ultimate goal.
Dude.
I mean, isn't that what Pepe is supposed to be from Dallas?
Exactly. Listen, that's the one. That's one position we have not developed as a striker. So the more money we pump in, maybe that striker comes out. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe in like 8 years.
And listen, and we're still doing Dupe by the River.
He's 8 years
2029,
old. This kid is 8 years old right now. He's 8 years old right now.
Hey, listen. You got to put in the process, and by that time, Dupe by the River will be a national podcast, and we'll be
yes.
We'll have the Nars down Holland. That's all.
It'll be like Arsenal Fan TV, and we'll be live at the stadium to talk
just
to
do this as
fans.
a job. Yeah, we get to do it as a job. Yeah, it'll be great.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Just standing in front of the Sub, just getting pissed off fans.
Oh, dude,
that's not hard to do.
Dude, me talking to fans would be just golden, like golden.
Oh my God,
I'm still talking about DP strikers in 8 years.
Especially when they're drunk. Oh man, it would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
it would be awesome.
It's a fun time.
Screw this, always. Jay won't spend any money. I'm going to Larimer.
Yeah, Jay won't spend any money.
Let's be real here, guys. If let's say a player like Carranza, let's say he was coming over from a club like Sevilla, right? He was just casted out in Sevilla, and we got this loan deal. Union fans would love it. The minute they see Sevilla, they'd be like, "Yeah, we got our striker." You know, we have to look at hindsight 2020. The Union have a model. It is set. As much as we want these guys to spend $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million on that position, Jay believes in this system. He believes in buying, yes, as Tim's hoodie addresses to us. But he believes in the bargain buy, and he believes in developing as well.
Hold on. It's not that
I think he believes more in saving money.
Yeah,
and he just uses the system as an excuse to save money. He's like, "Oh, I mean,
Jay Sugarman."
Yeah.
Sugarman brought in Tanner to play Moneyball. That's what it is.
And the thing is, Ernst has done a pretty good job of doing that.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Union in the last 3 years have either increased their points total or increased they've won trophies. You've made it farther in competitions. Like the Ernst has what he's done has done well. And I think the reason that the Carranza signing feels not tainted, but like different is because people are like, oh, we're getting Miami's leftovers without realizing that they spent $6 million. That's how I felt. But they spent $6 million on him. Like, whether or not he was worth that, they had to have done enough research on what he was playing in Argentina to go, okay, this kid is worth the money that we're paying. So
comes from a good club too, man.
And he is good. Like he like as of now, like he definitely like battles Casper for who's the best striker on the team already, just because of everything that he can do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's been hurt, and like he's behind one of Napoli's all-time leading goal scorers, and international fraud. But we won't go there.
Yeah, but Zach has Carranza won the CONCACAF Golden Boot?
Man, he hasn't. But he also hasn't cost Messi. But he also hasn't cost Messi international championship. So it's so it's totally fine.
Look, this is what I will say. If this is the only signing that we do in the offseason, or I'm sorry, the only striker signing that we do in the offseason, the only signing for the rest of the year at that position, and we don't get past the Eastern Conference Finals, there is going to be an expectation from this entire fan base to, at that point, there's no more excuses. You've done this whole Moneyball thing, as you guys alluded to. You got to go out and spend the money on the player because this roster is pretty damn good. Like, let's
good roster. But
you're missing. I won't say you're missing, but you need what you see around the league. Casper's nice, right? But he's not getting you over the top. And
you need
that for a long time now.
You need that lethal finisher, that Joseph, that Tati, like every
is a dream, man.
If you think about it, and I've said this, and I said this all year, I said it all last year, I've been saying every team that has won MLS Cup has a striker signing that is at least $2 million. I said the $2 to $3 million range is outside of Atlanta is about what they've spent, but that's the average. And if the Union are for real, you got to do it, because if not, and we get the same thing again, and we lose because we don't have strikers that score, you got to look at Jay and go, this Moneyball shit ain't enough. Either step up or step down to someone who can put up even a little bit more money. We're not talking Arthur Blank money, but we're talking enough where we can feel comfortable spending $4 million on someone and not having to, look at, do we actually have that? Or is our owner actually going to do that and say, yeah, okay, you can spend maximum $4 million on a player. And you go, okay, let's work with that.
There's so many guys you could get for there's an infinite amount of strikers out there for $4 million or less that are so much better than what we have.
Zach's got a whole binder of scouting reports of all the strikers he can tell us about.
I was gonna say Zach might even just lace up this voice. He go, he's cheaper than.
Fuck this! I got this,
dude. Ernst, give me a call, man.
Listen, Jim. Listen, we're gonna have Jim scouting the Sporting Serotonin games, and
there you go.
Zach's gonna be putting in that work.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm gonna be coming very prepared in the spring. So yeah, Jim, if you're there, I am available. You got to work on my fitness a little bit. Figure out this whole asthma thing. But I'm sure the doctors at the Union can do it. I'm sure they're capable.
And he'll sign for the league minimum.
I will take even less. We can work something out.
What do you got? What do you got? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
And I'll play, and I will just, I will do a very good job at, especially pressing. I can do that, Jim. I can press forever. All right. So I know you like that. I can be a very good second striker next to a DP up top.
We know you can, Zach. We know you can.
Just so we're aware.
So what you got for us, man?
No, my only thought with the kind of the points you guys are making is if Sugarman sees the Carranza deal as what Justin was saying of you have to have a $2 to $3 million striker as the value. They technically now have that in Carranza. I know they didn't buy him. It's a loan with the option to buy. But if that's the benchmark, then I think Sugarman is still being all right, we have to do this to win, but this might be the Moneyball solution until I see that bigger name or that proven goal scorer striker that's bought for more than the Union's record is still $2 million, I think was Gazdag or Jamiro.
Just shy of $2 million, yeah.
Yeah. So until we see that record broken on a striker with a goal scoring track record, I think Carranza might be
but
what
Tim,
they're looking for in terms of that. That's
I
my
bet you,
fear.
Jim. I bet you, Jim saw that we signed Carranza, and he was like, "This guy again." He's like, "Sugarman, you are just killing me, dude."
But
Jim was like, "Oh, I should have went to Cincinnati."
He's like, "These guys just."
But
no
Tim,
pun
you can't
intended, duping
honestly.
me.
You can't honestly think that Jay would be that thick-headed that it would pass the smell test for the fans. I know
he does not care about the fans. It passes the smell test into the metrics of what you said. You need a $2 to $3 million striker, a value of a $2 million to $3 million striker to win MLS Cup.
Well, but that's the thing though, is I don't even think it's passed the smell test of Ernst. I think Ernst is okay, this is great. This is the depth. This is what we need. But I there's no way Ernst is going, yeah, I'm totally okay with this after looking at our striking record.
I'm sure he's still negotiating and going after other targets. I just
Kramaric. He's going after Kramaric. That's who he's going after.
I'm telling you, if he does that, I am. Listen,
I'm buying the jersey. I'm buying the jersey tomorrow.
I might get an Ernst Tanner jersey. I might buy a jersey with Ernst Tanner on the back.
We'll have to bring him on the podcast to ask him what number he would wear just so we could get his correct jersey.
Yeah. Ernst, what is your favorite number?
We'll also ask him, does he prefer Wiz Wit or Wiz Without?
And he's gonna say, I have no idea what that means.
Wheeze. He's gonna go wheeze. Listen. Let's kind of like end this on a positive note. I really feel he has the capability of doing this. Like, and by the way, we didn't mention his club in Argentina. Banfield is known for doing this because they also produce James Rodriguez. No big deal, but he has the potential here. And the most important thing, what we're not mentioning, we're not emphasizing here. Miami's a dysfunctional club. Everything about it that they've been trying to do for the past few years has been dysfunctional. This is a good situation. There is actual structure here, and this is a good team around him. All he has to do is put the bad boys away. How many times did we discuss after all these game recaps and talking about how the final third was just lacking?
Many.
I mean, what else should we say about that?
Zero goals in the postseason from Casper, just so we're aware.
And honestly, Johnny, you're right that Miami is a complete dumpster fire. I mean, because of the situation they put themselves in with the TP scandal, they've had to sell players off. They just sold Lewis Morgan, one of their best players, to Red Bull. Like. So who is there? And Pizarro reportedly is probably going to Liga MX if
Monterrey, baby.
Or the rumors are true. So, I mean, who do they have? Higuain and Robbie Robinson? Like that team's a complete dumpster fire. So if we're pulling up quote unquote their scraps while they're trying to figure their shit out, I think it's good on us. And I think, hey, listen, besides the injuries, and I said 2 different coaches. Like he started out. With Diego Alonso, and then Phil Neville comes in, and I mean between the 2 seasons, the pandemic, I think it's been a kind of stop-start. It's tough to get a good gauge on, but the limited thing I did see from him, he does have that ability to get in behind. He does provide a little bit of pace. He seems to be a little more clinical than Casper, at least with some of the chances, which I know with Casper is not hard to do, being a little more clinical than him. But listen, like I said, I think he's getting to a spot where this is a prove-it year for him, and I think he's gonna want to leave it all out there. And listen, if he puts in that work, it doesn't take much to be beloved in this this team. If you work your ass off and can put the ball in the back of the net more than a handful of times. When you look at Casper, there are Casper fanatics who literally, won't think that he can presumably be benched at any point.
People think Casper should be in the ring. I bet.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They also
which might be if there is someone out there that thinks Casper belongs in the ring, he doesn't. He doesn't, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
He's a very important striker in the transition from this team being absolute garbage to being a true title contender. So I agree with Zach right now on this. Now, Casper, when you listen to this podcast, because we know you listen, go out and score 25 next year, and maybe
we're just pushing him. That's all we're doing.
That's it. I just want him to be better. That's
25 left.
Listen, if you prove us wrong, great. I would
love to be wrong. I would love it.
Listen, if he wins the Golden Boot next year and leads us the MLS Cup,
I don't think I could ever be on the podcast again.
That would be Zach's swan song.
Just to roast you. That would be it.
Yeah, I would come on and I like you guys would let fans on just to tell me how wrong I was. That would be the whole episode, and then I would leave forever.
It would be the roast of Labasso, and it would just be a constant.
Oh, be great.
Story.
We're gonna do special. The whole
into the wind. I would go after that.
We're even gonna get Fang to roast you, man. That's how it's gonna be.
Oh, jeez.
That's one you can't recover from.
Me and Fang have a really good picture together, though. Like he can't roast me,
dude. He goes.
Oh, sure. He's a mascot. What are you talking?
He can't give me. He can't. We're buddies. We're best pals.
This is what I'll say. All of us here, we love this team dearly, right? We just want to keep it real. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. We keep it real because we just want better. We don't do it out of hate. We do it all out of love, and we do it with respect, more importantly, as well. One last point, guys. How do you think Carranza feels coming into the United States? He goes to Miami, like beautiful.
He's got it
everywhere. Now he's coming up to Philly. It's cold right now. It's freezing. He's
not here yet. He's probably
you're right. He's probably not here. But when he comes up here, he's got like the Philly guy just coming up to me. Yeah. What are you doing here, dude? And It's like everyone's handing him cheesesteaks.
He's a 21-year-old kid. He's going to be hungry, though. If there's no other signing, like, he's the guy. So when he gets here, he's got to have that mentality.
I think regardless, he's got to be hungry because, I mean, he's probably coming into this going, okay, I've got a year to really prove my worth, or I'm like, who knows what happens if he goes back to Miami next year if it doesn't work out. Like, I think he's just got to look at it and go, all right, I've got a coach who, like, I'm sure he's probably going to look at the system and go, okay, I can work with this. And if it all really it is getting into fitness, I'm sure, like I said, players like it's not even just about, whether or not if you're fit enough for the system, you'll fit it. Like, you'll get in. Like, some guys are on the roster or on the starting spots purely because of their insane ability to absolutely Leon Flock getting into the starting lineup. Not a lot of it initially was just because he just keeps running and running and running and running. His fitness is off the charts. Now, his defensive awareness and his positional acumen is, next level. But that Jim looked at that kid and goes, holy shit, this kid just – like when you had Brendan, like, and you have someone that just keeps running and running and running in this system that works. And if you have someone like that just okay, I can give you at least 65, 70 minutes worth of this solid effort. Any coach is going to go, hell yes, sign me up for that.
Yeah, all day. Yeah,
absolutely, guys, absolutely. All right, so let's move on here from one interleague move to another interleague move. Nashville sent over to Montreal Alistar Johnston, and they're sending over to Nashville $1 million in the almighty GAM here. So my main question here, guys, so we've seen two moves here within the league. And obviously, I feel like that this kind of has gone away a little bit throughout the past couple of years. Everyone's looking down in South America and trying to get these Euro older players as well. But the value of trading within the league and making moves within the league, Zach, you can start off here, man. Like, the value of that. Kind of give us your thoughts on that.
It's definitely interesting because, and I think the most important thing is like knowing that a player can work in the MLS already. Because when you bring someone from out of the league, like, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, people go to the Prem all the time and they can't play there. They just can't adjust. And I think that knowing that he is able to already be a good MLS player allows them to know that we're going to bring him in and he's going to be fine. Like this is going to be no issue in him transitioning to our team. It's the same league, maybe a different system or whatever. But the fundamentals of 1v1 defending, it never doesn't change, and that's what you do as an outside back. So, he should be fine. And I like the concept of just bringing in players that are like, if the Union signed Rui Diaz, that would be awesome. Right? He can score a bunch of goals in the MLS already. It's the same thing. Like, you don't even have to, because even if you bring in a striker from overseas who has scored a bunch of goals, you don't know if he's going to be able to do it in the MLS. Now, you'd like to hope so, but with a guy like Rui Diaz, if you sign him, he can do it in the MLS. Like, it does, the environment's the exact same. System might change or whatever, but scoring goals is scoring goals, and it just comes down to like center backs playing whatever in terms of a striker. But I do like the idea of bringing in interleague signings because it's just a good way to improve the squad with proven guys already.
Tim, kind of tell us about this player.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see Nashville send him there. He was a very good outside back for them this last year, but I know he is Canadian. He's been playing for the Canadian national team, getting call-ups for them. So going to Montreal, he's kind of, in a sense, going home. I mean, he might not be from there. I haven't done a lot of research on the player, to be honest, but I know he's Canadian. So, I mean, hey, it's a good fit. Montreal looked like a really improved team last year. So, maybe they're going to get even a little bit more better under Nancy in his second full year. And just to Zach's point, like players in the league, if they fit your system, you should go after them. Like we've now seen, there's another move. Bruce Arena went and got Sebastian Lletget from LA, and he obviously knows him from LA Galaxy because he was coaching him there. But now he's bringing him into New England to kind of play whatever role that Bruce can get him to play, since Lletget can play a few different roles there. That's the type of move I always want the Union to do as well. Some of the players, like I wrote about some free agents when the free agency first opened. A lot of those players are now signed up by other teams, but the Union,
of course,
they could go after some of those types of guys that, and I made sure to look for guys who are in their prime, because the Union aren't going to go after someone who's in their 30s, and they're not going to go after someone unproven. So like there's a very small window of players that will now come available because free agency is expanding in MLS to including players in their prime.
That's true.
I would love to see the Union make a move like that. With the Carranza trade for a draft pick, I think that's the only interleague move, whatever we call it. I don't know. I forget. But yeah, it's I would love to see the Union do it, but there's definitely value there for that. But,
absolutely. Justin, what I want to ask you, my man, look, Montreal last season in general gave us fits. It's a tough, tricky team. And Wilfred did a great job last year in his first year with them. How much better does this make Montreal going into next year?
This definitely improves them a lot. I still think they're a striker away from really being a complete unit. I mean, their defense definitely wasn't an issue. And the thing is, they have speed on the outside. I mean, they have some wingbacks that can fly up the wings. And Alistar Johnson is pretty damn quick. And yeah, he's Canadian, so this essentially is coming.
Oh, home. Vancouver. He's from Vancouver.
Okay.
It's still coming. Like it's easier, Canadian national team player. That's what you're expecting. But I think this improves them a lot. I think it gives them solidity. I know they played a back three a lot, so it gives them a lot more flexibility with their wing backs. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it works with this. But I think the value of interleague trades or signings gets kind of lost on people. Like, if you've seen, everything with like Sean Davis is reportedly potentially going to Nashville.
Yeah.
And you've had with the expansion stuff, you had Sisaniga going to Charlotte. You had Christian Blackman getting flipped twice and going to Vancouver. You had Ishmael Traore going to LAFC. You had, as I mentioned earlier, you had Lewis Morgan going to Red Bull. Like, the interleague system of trades and signing gets overlooked a lot because there's always that flashy signing from South America, from Europe. Well, there's a reason the guy like Kai Kamara was a staple in the league for how many years? Because wherever he went, he just kept scoring goals. And he was a guy that, everyone traded for if at the deadline if they needed scoring to make the playoffs, because you knew what you were getting from him. And the system, and now that they've expanded free agency and included more players in it, it's definitely giving players more of an option to expand. And that's why I said Sean Davis is reportedly going to Nashville if everything's true. And I think that shakes a lot of things up. And Alistar Johnson, I mean, it definitely was a surprise, but I definitely think Nashville is looking to retool themselves and get more on the attack. I think if you saw what they had last year, they were lacking a bit of a punch besides Mukhtar. CJ was great, but if CJ got cut off and Mukhtar was shut down, like, there wasn't much else. It was that. Right. So they definitely lacked a lot. So I definitely think they're looking to retool, and they've pulled a lot of money in allocation money with some trades. So I think it'll be interesting to see. But the interleague system in terms of trades and signings definitely gets overlooked a lot for sure.
One big one too, like Atlanta just got Ozzy Alonso, like
which is very
someone who's going to lock down the midfield. Like, And that's there's people like that in free agency too. I know he's an older player, but he's going to go into that Atlanta midfield and he's going to play. Like there's those players.
Still a big veteran piece, man. Still a big veteran piece for sure. All right, you guys ready to talk about some real signings here? Or potential real signings here?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
no, it's confirmed. Fabrizio tweeted it's already done.
What do you got?
Before we do that, though, we have to shout out.
Oh yes,
the sexiest contributor of the year for Philly Sports Network, Mr. John Zapata, El Parcero Philly himself.
Thank you so much, guys. That was pretty great.
Listen. The fans confirmed what we already knew.
Yeah.
Fresh as hell.
This one wasn't even the fans. This is just the Philly Sports Network people. So this is just us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That I really appreciate all you guys, man. I want to thank obviously my three great co-hosts, and of course I want to thank my parents for the great genes, and more importantly that Colombian flair that we all love and know. I try, guys. I try. That was pretty funny. Hey, listen, shouts out to Tim winning the unique contributor this year for PSN.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that one I know was the fan. So I don't know who y'all out there voted for me, but I really appreciate that.
Guilty charge.
I beat you guys out. I don't know how I did it. There you go.
But very, very much deserved.
I remember last year Justin won it, and I was like, Justin just got here. No, I'm just kidding.
Awesome stuff. But yes, so pretty much caught the soccer world by storm. Lorenzo Insigne coming here next in the summer, right? That's the deal. Summer coming in the summer from of course.
Yeah.
Of course, one of my favorite European teams, Napoli. This is obviously a big move for the league, depending how you look at it. The man is going to get paid. The man is a very, very, very talented forward piece. Can play pretty much. I'll say I watched him play anywhere in the attack. Won the Euros the past Euros with Italy, and now he's coming into the MLS, and it does bring up a little bit of controversy. Now, you look at it, the dude is talented, right? But then there's the people who do think that this is going back to MLS 2.0, bringing the old European player coming here, looking for a retirement league. And for me personally, guys, I'll get your thoughts on it. From watching Lorenzo very closely for the last 3 years, by the way, I love him dearly. He's number one, a guy who's extremely prideful. The dude literally represented his hometown team. He played for Napoli. He's from Napoli. And he tried everything he possibly could to win a Scudetto for that team. He's going to come in here, and it's a perfect situation, in my opinion, because to me, Bob is going to treat him like Carlos Vela with the nasty curler. So I think this is a great move, and I think that it opens back up that market for, I won't say the old, but the older European players. If you want to come here, you can come here, get paid, but come here ready to play. Don't treat this like a retirement league. And I think Lorenzo Insigne is going to be a big move in that aspect. Zach, you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this, man. What are your thoughts of Lorenzo coming to Toronto?
Well, so yeah, if you followed us during the Euros, Italian, big. I must be Northern Italian. I don't know. I don't look Italian, but it is what it is. So I love Insigne. I've watched Insigne play since I was a child. And the people saying that this is going back to MLS 2.0 with like he's 30, like he's in the prime of his career. Like this is the point where like he would move to like, I don't know. Let's say, I don't know, Chelsea. Like he would move from Napoli to like a team, especially after being an extremely important contributor to Italy's Euro win this summer. This is where you move to a club that is beyond what you're already at. Now, people could say, oh, maybe he's like not motivated anymore and he just wants to relax. But at the same time, like John said, like he's prideful and he knows that he's now the best player in he is the best player in the MLS. Like on paper, he's that. And I don't think he's going to like come in and like let his image be disparaged because he wants to relax in Toronto. I don't think that's it at all. And especially like if you're coming to the MLS to relax, you're not going to Toronto. You're going to go to Miami. You're going to go to LA. Right? Like
it's pretty cold up there.
Exactly. You're not relaxing up there. You're freezing every day. And I've also seen the other side of the spectrum where people are like, he's not going to be good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you crazy? Like, he is so good at football. It's unbelievable. Winger, attacking mid, striker, false nine, whatever you want to play him, he's going to be able to do it. Now, I don't know what the team in Toronto is going to look like next year. Like, if Josie's going to be back, probably. He'll probably be there till he's like 50 just because. But it seems as though Toronto is trying to make a statement after how putrid they were this year, that they are going to totally revamp this team and build around yet another microscopic Italian. And for those of you who don't know, Giovinco, also microscopic Italian, won them a couple MLS Cups. He's going to tear up the league.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it. I would be shocked if he doesn't win MVP. And I would be shocked if he doesn't lead the league in goals. Like, I just can't imagine it not happening. Or I can't imagine it not happening. And to go on top of that, this is exactly the type of signing I wanted the Union to make, and they still could very well make. Like Kramaric for free, like they're not paying that for
exactly. That's it right there, for free.
Yeah, but for free. Yes, exactly. Like, I don't believe are they paying Toronto anything? Or I mean Napoli anything?
No,
his deal's up, right?
It's got to be on a free.
I think he's out of a contract.
Yeah.
And
because otherwise it would be insane.
So they're just paying him a boatload of money. I think it's like $11 million a year or something, which is insane. Like, that's tons of money. But you bring in a stud striker or attacking player for free and pay him his salary. Like, I would eat that up. Like, we've been talking, Kramaric is out of a deal, man. He could come in the summer too. And then we'd have a conversation about who's going to be the MVP.
Tim, what do you think?
I love Insigne. I love him, and I'm excited for him to be in the league, and I'm also terrified because, Toronto probably may win the MLS Cup next year simply because.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Don't go that far. Let's not go that far.
Right. But you guys know it's true.
No, listen. Zlatan led the league in goals, and the LA Galaxy were garbage. So
yeah, but they didn't have Bob Bradley at the helm.
AK Gaming switching affiliates. He's here.
I respect it.
So it's confirmed. Elliot Collier is going to be signing with Toronto then.
No.
It also too. TFC just became, if it wasn't already, the official Italian MLS club.
Oh, 100%. Yep, 100%.
Tim, what do you feel about this move?
I mean, Zach kind of covered it. It's a monumental move for MLS. Like, and some people might see it as like, oh, another retirement league move, but that's not true. Like, I get that the guy's 30, but that's still the prime of his career. And like Zach was saying, he could have went to any team. Like, he could have went to a Premier League team. He could have stayed in Italy. He could have went to another giant league, but he's chasing that money. Like, he's going to
he is. Oh, yeah, he is.
Like, it's going to break records, the amount of money that he will make. Like, and that the money that's reported at the end of next year won't even actually cover the amount that he actually made. Like, it's already been kind of stated that's how that's going to work. Apparently that's how Giovinco was too, but we never really knew that. Like, people were saying, like, some reports are coming out like, oh, okay, so like Toronto aren't messing around. And I really like what you said, Johnny, about the comparison. Bob Bradley with Vela in LAFC.
Oh, yeah.
Like, destroyed the league. Won Supporters Shield, broke the record for points, that year that New England just broke now this year. But that's his blueprint for an MLS team right now. And that's what he's trying to do in Toronto and get them back to when they had their big three of Altidore, Bradley, and Giovinco, and now it's Insigne, and we'll see what happens with the rest of their team. But another giant move for MLS.
Insigne, by the way, is on 5 million euros a year at Napoli right now, and he's going to make more than double that a year at Toronto.
Makes sense. It really does make sense.
Yeah.
Dude,
hey,
I want
to
point out.
I think my internet out.
Oh no. Well, yeah, we'll figure that out, Tim. But I wanted to say it is so weird. Some MLS teams like to build through a number 9. Some like to build through a 10. Bob likes to build through wingers. A stud winger on one side, and he's got a team. That's hey.
That's all you need. Actually, to be fair, Bob had 2 stud wingers in LA. Diego Rossi is a bit of a machine.
Oh my lord.
He is a bit of a machine.
In the MLS trivia, you had what was a friend of mine said Diego Rossi and Kyle Larin playing for Besiktas, and it was like a who's who of like old MLS names in the Turkish league, and you're just like, man, who would have thought that we were giving Turkey their products?
Yeah.
Just real quick, AK Gaming, really sweet of him. That's why we love him. Wants to make
Thank
sure
you.
that you are.
I appreciate it. Feeling better every day as.
And this is also pretty funny, Josh. Lots of MLS fans hating about the signing. These are salty MTL fans that know a TFC is going to dominate the team. We love to see the banter between the two.
We're
here for it.
Love it.
We're just sitting here on the sidelines with our popcorn.
How many goals did Vela score? That was it 33?
You won MVP?
Yeah, he won
MVP. The MVP year. I don't.
When he broke the record,
2019 or 2020.
I wouldn't be surprised if Insigne broke that record. Whatever it is, I would not be surprised.
It's possible.
I mean, just thinking of a front three potentially if Josie's still there, of Insigne, Pozuelo, and Altidore. I mean,
yeah, that's disgusting. Why did you have to say that to me? I forgot Pozuelo was even there.
Or if Akinola comes back healthy, like.
Didn't they ship him off?
Yeah, Akinola's in Vancouver now.
I thought they shipped him off.
Oh,
but I read this morning they are trying to sell Solteo from the Venezuelan, the short 5'4". I think Courtney was talking trash to him at the Toronto
already.
game.
That's quick.
They're looking for $7 million for him.
Oh, also, like John was saying before we started, Toronto's still trying to sign Belotti from Torino, so you could actually have Pozuelo, Belotti, and Insigne up top, which
Forza Toronto
would be the best attacking trio in MLS history.
And wait, hold on, where's the investigation going to be on Toronto? Because how many DPs do they got? How many? Listen, all these names, especially the salaries.
They're getting rid of Josie. They're getting rid of Josie so they can free up a spot.
Yeah, but if they're signing something like Insigne takes that spot back already.
Yeah, maybe.
By the way,
Michael Bradley isn't gonna have a DP spot anymore.
Yeah, his dad's too smart for that.
Please stop with the Josie to Philly. Can we please?
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
A few years ago, I would have been okay with it.
But he stinks.
Yeah. I would have been okay with it a few years ago, not now.
Hey, MLS and US legend, 100%. But right now, he is not what we need.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I would have been all for it. Not now. No.
All right, guys. Before we sign off, I wanted to get your thoughts on a picture here. All right. Okay. There is no better coach in the MLS than this man right here. Dude, you guys don't understand what I felt when I saw this picture. I didn't love him anymore. I love him more now. I love this man. I love him.
I mean, people forget that, he's the coach of the Union, but when it comes down to it, to brass tacks, he's just a Philly guy.
Yeah.
Jim Curtin is Philly born and bred. You can see in the picture, he's got a Bud Light can in his hand.
He's trying to hide it. He's trying to hide it.
Repping Eagles green with that Bud Light can.
None of us care.
The only thing that would have made that picture more Philly if he did hashtag dilly dilly, and
had a cheesesteak in his pocket.
Exactly, he's Philly. He is the epitome of Philly, and that's why we respect the Drip King, as our buddies the Cooligans refer to the Drip King. The man's shoe game is on point, and he is Philly. He represents, I think, the best of the city, and damn, we're proud of that to have him as our coach.
Yeah,
he took a picture with the Union family. That
also, he's such a dad wearing the jeans, man. Such a dad wearing.
He's got the Air Ones.
But then look at peep those shoes,
100%.
The jeans, but then look at the shoes. The shoes
but
are.
I'm just saying. I think on a cold day, a nice pair of joggers is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to see the fit for a Sixers game. Like I want to see him wearing the throwback.
Oh,
like,
he's got to have some like. Listen, if he doesn't have the new city jerseys this year, the Spectrum jerseys, like those kind of kicks with that color pattern, wearing courtside. I mean, come on, that that's got to be it.
I remember one of his first years as Union coach. Someone asked him about the Sixers because it was right when they were getting out of the process, and him as like that Philly guy, he's like, "Yeah, man, I just really hope that they start to play well again. Like the city's just so much more happier when the Sixers are good." And I was like,
"Is he sure about that now?"
This guy needs to be coach like forever. Yeah. This was like back in like 2014. It was like this guy needs to be the coach like forever.
All the time. Yeah.
Like,
did you guys see?
Tim?
Did you guys see the picture on Twitter today? The Leeds store in the stadium, and they had like different sports. Dude, the Leeds baseball jersey was so tough.
I was on the basketball jersey, to be honest with you. But yeah, they were
dude,
nice.
if they had a Union baseball jersey and it said like DOOP, oh man, I would be all over that.
You're giving them some ideas
fresh.
here.
It was so fresh, man.
Look at that. Awesome, guys. All right, well, listen, guys, this is going to do it for the final episode of not the pod, but for 2021. We'll be back in 2022. I just want a quick second first off for everyone that has listened. Really, thank you so much. This podcast has grown a lot throughout this past year. And really, I appreciate you guys, watching us grow throughout 2021. And more importantly, I really want to thank the 3 people that are here as well. We talked about it in the award show before this. This show started as a kid in Northern Liberties, Philadelphia, making videos about this team in my room, in a small ass room. I wish I could show you how small this room was, behind a brick wall. And thank God Tim decided to send me. He slid in my DMs. Yes, he did. Yeah. Don't tell Courtney. He slid in my DMs.
I need this guy. I need him.
Yeah. He asked me to join PSN, and I remember talking to Nat, which obviously every decision I do, Nat is always the first one I talk to, and she was like, "It sounds like a no lose situation. Just do it." And I'm so thankful we did. We started, like Tim said, it was just me and Tim, and we had others along the way, and then Justin came along, and then we took a chance on the Zach. And honestly, I'll say this, guys, I feel like Zach was the missing piece to what we were doing here. Zach honestly provides the banter. Yes. Justin, you are a character within your own, and we fucking love you, man. Like, we just look at you today, man. Like, this is fucking great, man. And of course, Tim, man, you bring like the soft and like the positivity that we need within this podcast. So I first off, I love you guys, and seriously, thank you so much for making this pod what it is, guys. Seriously.
No problem.
Thank you for setting it all up, man. You hook us up. Yep. You create all these live stream links. You promote it out. Like,
I don't get to yell at people if you don't send me that link. Like,
and you're the sexiest, right? The contributor of the year for PSN.
Oh, and
let's go.
Going back to the DMs, I think Courtney will be fine with Colin if Tim ends up going to Johnny.
Yeah,
but it's.
I mean, hey, listen,
it's fine.
Tim seems to be the common theme is because Tim slid into my DMs.
Oh, Tim! Jeez, you just double dipping.
Zach found us, so that he's the only one I didn't slide into DMs for.
I actually did slide into Johnny's DMs.
He did slide in my DMs. That's a lot of DM sliding in this podcast.
There's a lot of DM sliding. Yeah. No, but to throw it back to Courtney real quick, I don't think she'll go to Colin anymore. He might not be on the team. So, she did say though that Carranza was yummy. So.
He is a good looking dude. He is a good looking guy. I do not argue.
Questions about that.
Yeah. He's a handsome man.
He just needs to grow a Philly beard, and no, I'm just kidding.
Dude, him with like a Lane Johnson playoff beard by the end of the season.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Could you imagine?
Now that's how you score 20 goals, guys.
Yeah. He doesn't stop. He doesn't shave his beard until he doesn't score in a game. He just scores the whole season, every game.
All right, guys, that's going to do it here for tonight's episode. Seriously, stay tuned. We have a lot more for you in 2022. We're only getting started. Y'all don't even know. We're only getting started. We have some special announcements coming in 2022, so you don't want to miss it. So we'll let you sit on that throughout New Year. So guys, please, if you're listening, make sure you guys are safe. Obviously, we have this COVID going around again, so make sure you guys are staying safe, and whatever you guys do on New Year's Eve, please stay safe as well. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Subscribe to the podcast. We're on PSN Radio, wherever you stream podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Zach Labasso. That is Tim Lovinguth. That's Justin DP signed in quarantine. Of course, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to do ball. We'll see you guys in 2022.